Hi everybody, my name's Susan Hoyle. I'm the project manager of the Somerset Suicide Bereavement Support Service, and Claire and I are going to have a conversation this morning just so as we can try and help the police officers that are attending the scene of a suspected suicide to try and help explain why an early response or an early offer into our service can be really critical sometimes. And just to give it some context then, Claire, are you happy to share with us what happened?
Yeah.
And why you're helping in this way?
Yeah. I lost my son at age 14 on the 18th of November 2017. I came home to find him, he'd taken his own life. It was a massive shock. Our dog had died 6 days earlier, and being a hormonal teenager, he just made an awful mistake. So my daughter heard me scream and ran and got a neighbour straight away. He came in and helped me try and resuscitate my son, and the ambulance phoned while we were doing that. My partner at the time, had been on the phone to me when I found Seb. So I've been very lucky with the support around here, but the police came in, took a statement as the ambulance tried to resuscitate him, and then didn't really know what else to say, so just sort of stood. I was just completely lost. I didn't know what to do. I just remember thinking, what do I do? What do I do? There's nothing I can do. I knew he was gone. I was just so in shock and lost. I didn't know where to go from there.
So what was actually going on in the background? I'm not sure we've spoken about this. I don't think you were fully aware of some of the things that were going on, but your ex-partner, he'd actually picked up a very old bereavement leaflet from the hospital, hadn't he?
Yeah, the doctors at the hospital gave him the bereavement leaflet. He tried phoning around because I said to him, I don't know how I'm supposed to tell the girls. What do you tell a 5 and a 6-year-old where their brother has gone? What's happened to him? So he tried phoning quite a few of the numbers on there. A lot of them didn't connect. One that did said they'd try and find somebody who could phone back, which was when they found you. But this was late on a Saturday night. There was nobody else to get in contact with.
So from our end, what actually happened was that the number that he'd actually got through to was actually the Liverpool Lullaby Trust. And so it was actually the Liverpool Lullaby Trust that phoned through to our helpline in the early hours of the Sunday morning. So we talked about your trauma and everything that's in there. That there's some of the pieces in there that you don't remember, do you?
No, I know. It's really strange when you tell me things that, I've said, and, I have no recollection at all. It's like I was a zombie after he died. I do not remember day-to-day things. It was all a blur.
So what we were actually able to do was I managed to work it out, and it was actually on the Monday that I came around. And even though I talk about me, it isn't just me. It's, there's a team of us, and we all work in exactly the same way. And it just so happened that it was me that was able to sort of come round. But you, as you say, you don't remember a lot of that, do you?
I don't remember it at all.
I mean, and that's where our skills come into it, is because we're able to either come to you like we did within, space, and just to find out exactly what it is in that moment. When I came round on that Monday, it's because it was your massive concern about the girls. I mean, but it was your girls. How were you going to tell the girls? Because they were obviously asking.
Yeah, that was my biggest, that's the one thing I do remember, is what do I say to them? How can I tell them that their brother has taken his own life?
I remember, the first time I met you, you got Seb's clothes. You were walking around with Seb's clothes, weren't you?
Yeah.
And I think you said afterwards it took you quite a long time to actually, put his washing down, didn't you? Because you were just walking.
I think for about a week I carried around a pile of his clothes because it was the closest thing I felt to hugging him.
Yeah.
I went through the washing basket. I took all his dirty clothes out, and I don't mean all his dirty clothes, and I carried them around for a week.
Yeah. We just wanted you to know very quickly that there was help and support there, and there was help and support with your girls, because obviously not being able to articulate things properly, and they obviously had little pieces of threads, but trying to make some of those decisions, what do I say, how do I say it, that's what we tried to help with. And I think the other thing that we did quite quickly, which I'll let you speak about, is we put you in contact with what we call a buddy.
Yes.
So what was that like for you? What was it, and what was that like for you?
It was a massive relief to be able to talk to somebody who knew exactly what I was talking about. My main problem, I think, was the thought that I had in my head was, I don't know what to do. And that was for everything. And I didn't know how I could live without him, and how I could be there for my girls without my son being in our lives. So she was amazing. She obviously had the experience. She'd lost a son too. And we both talked and we both cried together. And it was a massive relief to know that potentially I could be in the same place she was in a few years' time, and that I could cope every day. And she had a daughter too, so she was very close with her daughter. It gave me hope that it wasn't always going to be so bad.
Using a buddy, that enables us to then put some of the other things that are around it as well, because not only, what was going on for you, but I mean, it hit the national press. There was lots and lots of Facebook and internet stuff all around your son, wasn't there? There was, I mean, community, but family. So there's lots of other things that are going on, not just about the loss. So that's why we can use various parts of the project of what we do to try and support the whole family, but also the community and the media and everything as well. What would you like to say to the officers, Claire, before we wrap up, about the importance of filling in this early response through to us?
Oh, it would make such a difference. It would make a massive difference, because when it finally becomes clear to you what's happened, because you're in such shock, everything's a haze. Well, the first thing I did was look for help, and I didn't know where to go, and I didn't know where to look. So if it's there, if it's been done, although some might say, oh no, I can't think about that. Even if you left the information there and said, well, it's here for you if you need it, then it's there. But to not have anything, like we didn't have anything really, and we luckily phoned around and found you eventually. So yeah, to have something, even if you decide you don't want to use it, you've got something.
Just thank you so much for helping with this.
Oh no, thank you for helping me. I don't know, honestly, I do not know how we would have got through that first period without you, without the suicide bereavement service. I don't know how I don't know how I would have done it. You have been a godsend.